now what? So hello everybody. We're going to learn what ancient gematria is, because this ain't your normal gematria. There's more than 3 types. There's many types. And this has got to do with origami. It's got to do with taking things and making things out of stuff. Like a 6 and 8. That's the plate. This is how you build the earth. And these people are hiding this stuff from us. They give it to us in a certain form, and then they think that's all right to do that, and that they're okay with that. Well, I'm not okay with it anymore, okay? Now, Nerf, I love your balls and everything. I love all the stuff, but you know what? I don't love when you put something on like this. I made this plane. Yeah, this is sort of. I made this plane when I was younger, and then in grade 5, Fred Neary, a Filipino guy, he showed me how to make them. So why didn't he patent this? But what's to do with the patent? And this camera is not very clear. See, that's what I mean. The cameras are all garbage. The cord's garbage. This is just going sideways right off the bat. Okay? I don't know what the issue is. I might stop it already and have to see, because this is what they keep doing. So I'm not going to go too much longer. It's already 2 minutes. So this is ancient gematria. This is the stuff that happens, and then they misspell words and all that kind of stuff, right? And you have, and then there's a color code to the letters that I do, and it's the alphabet pool ball alpha omega code. And if you take a mirror up to some of this stuff, it'll start making pictures and stuff. So also mirrored anything, you take the mirror and it makes beautiful pictures out of stuff that you would never ever believe unless you try it yourself or somebody shows you how. So I took a crib board, which I love the game of crib, and there's some codes to this. So there's a crossing right here, and it's 122, 122 on this one, and on the triple one it's 122, 122, 122, which is 366, the leap year, and that's coming up soon. Now, this is the code to the pool ball code. This is 1 to 15. This is alpha and omega, and it adds up to 120. If you add 1 to 15 over, you add this one, it adds up to 120. So I drew a yin and a yang. See, one's open and one's closed, and that's the channel. Now, this is why Nikola Tesla liked the pyramid so much, and there's a code to it. And he used to click his toes 100 times at night before he went to sleep. And there's the pyramid right there, made out of the pool ball rack. And there's 4 sides to it. So there's 15 doors and 10 windows, which is 25 per side. That's 100. That's Nikola Tesla's code. So here's the crib board. It goes to 120. Now the pyramid, it's 15, 15, 15, 15 on the base, and it's 15, 15, 15, 15 on the uprights. So that's 120. And then the cue ball would be 121. So that's how that rolls. And then there's a snooker game as well, and there's a code to that as well. But I'm not getting into that one because it's not handy at the second. It will be in a minute. So what happened to me is I was doing all this stuff online, and then all of a sudden it got physical. See these pistons? They were on a scale, sitting outside of a McDonald's, and there was a native girl watching the stuff that was happening. And when I picked the pistons up, nobody came at me or said nothing. I put them in my pocket. I started to wheel the scale down the street, and the wheel fell off, and it's the wheel that of the eye that my dad was lost, the eye that my old Baba lost, and the eye that my Baba hit her in the spring with a spring, and it made her have fuzzy vision. So then she goes, "Oh, there's another scale down the street at the funeral home," and but I don't think it's still there, and it's got 4 pistons on it, but it's been there for 2 weeks. And I go, "Oh, well, that's unusual." So where? Down the street. So I went down there after I packed the scales of justice down the street like Jesus packed the cross. Well, I was packing the scales of justice, and I had these 2 pistons in my pocket. So what happened is, hopefully you can see because I got this thing in my back, I had a horseshoe at home, and I've had this for like 25, 30 years, and it fit in here perfectly. Like, it was really hard to get the pin back in to get it in there. And then I put some magnets and a steely from the kegs over there, and then I put this bar from the skill saw on here. It's a guide to give you the different thicknesses of the wood. So what happens here is there's a compass, and that's a 75 crib board, and that represents the tides that come and go twice a day. So that's the turn of the tide. So this represents a bridge that I used to in the Fraser River. There's an Annis's Island swing bridge, and there's another swing bridge at the end of Queensboro, and it goes into New West. And my dad used to catch the train and go there every, like, jump on the train while it was going, like it was really dangerous, and then get a ride into town all the time. Now you see how them pegs are all lined up in a row, and how there's one peg right behind here, and there's a whole bunch in the front. Now, somebody planted this stuff on the street for me to find. It wasn't just I got this thing and this thing. I was doing this gematria for years and years. Then they started placing stuff on the street for me to find. So, thus, when you open the train bridge, and this swings, and the compass moves, and the tides change twice a day. They go up and down, and there's always a rest in between the tides. So that's how, when we have our wood, we shoot our wood through the bridge. And sometimes it's low tide and we don't have to open the bridge, but when it's too high, we have to get the bridge opened. And that's us going through. But that's also the tides that change twice a day. That's what it represents. So now when I close it, it swings back. See that? Pretty cool, eh? So for me to have this horseshoe, have the magnets, have the steel ball, put the guide in there, have the pistons that were found on the scale representing the feet, because I'm the Pisces, and that goes with the Mayan calendar, that changed, because that's a Pisces Mayan calendar, and the Pisces is the feet. And there's a bunch of red shoes that were, a bunch of shoes floating in the river as well, and they had the feet still in them. And that's in our lower mainland here. That was happening quite often. They would drift in with the tide, and there would be feet in the shoe, and that's absolutely nasty. So twice a day this happens. And somebody ain't getting to the bottom of it, but I think we're at the bottom of getting to the point of finding out what's going on. there's the turn of the tide. This is what's happening. I got a code here also for the numbers and how they work, but it's a 1 to 25 is the code because it's a square box, and there's 4 square boxes of 25, and it goes with the code to the pool balls. So I've linked the pool balls and the 25 square magic box to each other and how it works. Now, to find this stuff planted all over the place and everything else, it's unusual to have that happen. And so when you do these and you have the parts and you put all this in, that's pretty unusual, don't you think? Like, absolutely. And to have the compass, that came from Walmart. And these crib boards both came from the same dollar store, and most of the stuff is made in China. So that made me think that Mr. Ping has something to do with this. Mr. Putin has something to do with the stuff that's going on, and so does Trump, and so does JFK Jr., because he did not die, and he did not crash his plane. What he did is he took all the information that Trump got from his uncle. He got 30 boxes of Nikola Tesla stuff, and they intercepted it through before the Skull and Crossbones got it. And there's my toenail in the United States, because my grandpa was born in the United States. And that's my toenail for there. Now this also has the Mayan calendar date of 2012, and it's also got a 1937, which represents the Royal City. And just lately they changed the Royal City to something else. Well, it's getting changed right back as fast as it got changed out. And it's getting the capital of BC is going to be New Westminster again. And the capital of Canada is going to be New Westminster again, because the Mayan calendar changed 12 years ago, and we're not waiting another second. This is going to be immediately done. And I'm claiming my title to the Mayan calendar, and they've been waiting a while for me to figure all my stuff out. That's why they planted this stuff. And I've been telling people that 2020 was vision, and this is the vision. So this 75 represents that crib board, because it's a 75 crib board as well. And my grandma was 75, my mom was 50, and I was 25. So we're all 25 years apart. My initials add up to 25, and so does my brother. My dad's born on the first month, 24th day, that's 25. So there's lots of things going on, and that's how you do Gematria. But this is a special way to do Gematria. Nobody even knows the regular stuff, because everybody I ask knows nothing about it. So that's why we're starting learning centers across the earth to show you how the earth works. And this represents the tides rising and falling twice a day. And every 7 years, if you bought a tide book, you could keep all 7 years of the books, and you won't have to buy another anymore, because it's going to be the same as it was 7 years ago. And I'm on a 7-year cycle right now. 7.5 years it's going on 8 years now. So that's what this all represents. See, vision. Eh? And then on the inside, building godly men of today and tomorrow. So we're going to learn all the stuff we didn't learn and have fun doing it. And it makes, once you put stuff together and put, like I said, that big writing, and then you put the mirror up to it and you start moving it around, and it'll start making things out of it, like artwork, right? So it's really cool. And then, I got all these plates and everything else, and learned all these different techniques, but and then here's another one. Took all the initials from my family, and Polly Ann, Heather Ann, Deborah Ann, Michael Allen, and Edward Allen. So I put the R in because I didn't get married to my ex, so I put the R in there, and then I put the K. And my Baba is a Relkoff and a Konkin, so I put that like that as well. And then my dad at the bottom, which the M and the E are on this globe that I have, and it's a M A, and then there's a channel, and then it's going upwards, and then the EA goes across the globe. And what the globe is for markers. So what you do is you do origami, and the stuff goes up against the globe to show you markers, because the globe is if anything, we're inside the globe, we're not outside of the globe like how they have that. That's not how it is, which you'll find out soon enough. So so park, hark, dark, because it's dark, and then mark, park, mark, narc, whatever. We had a guy, Mr. Day, that was the narc of Moody Park. And he told me to do certain things, so I would have been a hockey player and everything else like my buddy, but I guess not. I did other things instead of concentrating on all that. So this is some of my paperwork to my claim, and I guess I'm already into this for 16 minutes. See how fast this goes, just for talking for a few minutes. And so what happens is the addresses where I used to live, they changed the addresses from 2 dwellings to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different lots, but there's only one house on it now. They're just waiting to do whatever to subdivide, and well, it's already subdivided, but they add up to 120. And the addresses where I live right now add up to 120. Right here. So it's really weird. And then 84 is what me and my dad's middle names add up to. So all these things are really weird once you start doing it, but once you start doing it and know how to do it, and you're doing it from your heart and your soul and your spirit that you were given from your parents, and the Lord that let it all happen, I guess. So that's the big codes for all that kind of stuff, and then you got the back sides and stuff as well, right? So I'm just showing you a little bit about what Gematria is right now, and then the Pisces calendar changed to Aquarius. Both my parents were Aquarius, married right in between their birth date. And this is already 17 minutes, and I've already had some issues with having music on and all this other stuff, which once we get done with making everything righteous by the 13 new lords from the Mayan calendar, and they all been waiting for me diligently, because I didn't know any of this before, and they actually saved all our lives. You're going to find out they saved all our lives from the earth to be flooded or whatever they were going to do to us. So you're going to find out all that really shortly, because I'm coming out tomorrow. I'm going to get the police here, and they better do their job. I don't want the RCMP here. I want the New Westminster Police to do their job diligently and get all the good people that weren't integrated in with a payoff or a bribe or blackmail from these psychopathic people that tried to kill us off with the shots and everything else. And I had a few friends die. And I know a few other friends that their parents died because of it too. So, thus, this is the crib board. This is the Nerf thing that they did or whatever. And I don't want this stopped just because of that. I already am into this for this long. Don't try any funky business on me anymore, please. It's very frustrating to try to learn and teach something, especially when you're on a time crunch to get stuff done. I'm tired of the setbacks, and there better not be any more. Thank you very much. And if anything, Nerf, try to give kudos to me. I love some of your products, yeah. So maybe you can give a nice donation. Contact me personally and hit me up if you could. That would be really nice, because I'll do this on every program. This was really nice, but you did this for a plane, not the thing I just created here, which I have other stuff that goes with this to show you guys. So this is the magnets, because magneticity, the magnets are gravity. That's what the gravity, they attract and they repulse. So that's what happens with magnets. That's what's happening with these magnets that are in here, and that's what happens with that compass, because when the magnetic pole is done a certain way. See? Let's see if I can just make it the same as this. See? And that's basically north too, really. I got it on the north plane right now, so that's pretty cool there. And then I open it all the way up, because these magnets in here are making that move like that. And the bar as well, because there's magneticity going through the bar. See? And now it's going to change back. And see how it goes right in perfectly? And now it's all lined up. Now how could I do this? I don't want to hear I did this and this. I did this. This is crazy. They planted these pistons on the scale that I collected. The scale, your feet's on it. It represents that. And a week before that, I got these runners off the garbage can. And the reason I got them is because my granny used to have the same type of runners, but they were dash runners. Mine are all-star. The ones that I got are all-star Converse runners. And I'm their little all-star, I guess. And the third eyelet up was not in it, where you have your lace up everything. One of the eyelets was out. And hopefully you're all listening to this, because if you're not, you're going to be left behind. We're starting all the schooling and learning centers, because they're not schools. Schools are for fish. We're going to be doing, see, and that's the board right there. The turn of the tide. How everything works. And now it made sort of like a character already. And now if I add some more writing here and there, and I put the mirror up to it, it'll be awesome. And now I'm into it for 21, going on 22 minutes here. So I showed you quite a bit just right there in that little spell of a time, but these are off of this right here. And them are three-sided pyramids. And they're stuck together now. And one's open and one's closed. See that? And that's where I got this diagram from. Now this goes with the fish that this created. See? Because this looks like a fish now, the way it's folded up. See? Big mouth. See? See, and there's parts of this is a movie. So supposedly this is a movie that we're in. Well, I'm getting a little sick of the movie. Even though so you see I put it in the winning hole right there, right? And then this goes underneath, because this represents the fish. So what happens is the egg falls, and then the semen, or the Milky Way. So this is the Milky Way for the fish. The male fish has got the milk that comes out, and then the stars in the sky are the eggs that fall into the Milky Way. It's really cool. And here's the diagram for the pool balls up top, and mixed in with the different times of the tides, and the flooding and the draining. And this is number 1 for the pool ball rack. And that's number 1 points for all the red balls in the snooker game. So there's different codes going on here, right? I just left that open to show you that that's the egg, and this is the semen, the Milky Way. So thus there's another code on here, which was really cool when I put the fish up and over top of this stuff. See? I just leave the eggs exposed a little bit. I put it level on the bottom there like that. And then when I fold this over, see, it said go fly a kite. So when I fold it over, look where it lands. And it says 4 ends meet at 1 point. And it goes like this. It goes right to it. Right? It's pretty weird. And I wasn't expecting that to happen. Once I put it all together, though, it was just like, holy cow. And then you do the back sides as well. And that's how the fish spawn. And that's level, right? See how level it is? See, I was worried about the upside down cross, but look, watch. It's not upside down, baby. She's righteously up. So then that's the flat earth. And then we got 2 and 3. Well, that represents BC, Canada. Yeah. And I'm the number 1 man that they've been waiting for. And then there's number 2, which is my brother. And number 3 is my sister, the flower girl from Queen Elizabeth's school. And now we're into it for 25 minutes. So I'm going to sort of... Oh, and then we got this over here too, and this is sort of more origami. This is the 4 plates of the earth right here. So I flip that over, see? Pretty cool, eh? And that's the angel that falls into the mother first from your father. And that's how Jesus was conceived, maybe with more than one, because I think there was more than one, because there was more than one spelling of Jesus. And one of them I like the best is the one with the J, because it works out perfectly with all the paperwork and everything. So somebody took it takes time to get an alphabet together when it's all been lost, so that was the last letter. Maybe that had to be added into the alphabet, and there's a code to all the letters and number thing. And it works out perfectly with the pool ball code and the colors of the pool balls. So that's what's going on. And now we're into it for 26, and I better not get flagged, tagged, or bagged on this one, because I'm tired of doing stuff over and over. Now here's some more origami right here, and this is actually a swan. Maybe even a stork, but I'm saying it's a swan. And what happens with the swan is there's some in the back here, and there's the eggs for the fish or the eggs for the swan. See right here? And they always have to be fertilized. So the egg has been fertilized by the male already, and the egg is different than the eggs of the fish and the egg of a woman, because you have to fertilize it a different way. It's not, yeah, so. And then in here, you see the yellow? Well, that's the semen, and then that red spot represents the egg, and then that blue represents the beautiful water they go up the mountain to spawn in. So I guess this goes like this and dumps the egg, and then they get fertilized. See right there? It's pretty cool, eh? Takes a lot of work to do this, so you're up all night, maybe for 4 nights in a row, not eating or nothing. Don't do drugs, because if you have a special technique, you don't want it to get all flustered with other kinds of stuff, and maybe take your life because you're on drugs, because this could take you sideways every which way, I'll tell you. So this goes in the back end of the swan. See? And they lay their eggs, and then first they build their nest, and then people come around and dredge, and it kills their nest and all their eggs, and yeah, that wasn't too good. But that's the 4 plates of the earth. And the earth is 96, and that represents the earth, and 69 represents the water. So there's certain things. So I'm going to call it right there, because we're at, yeah, I'm calling it.